The speech was given by Dr. Rosemary Hollis, the Director of Research at Chatham House. Despite the current tensions in Gaza, she was keen to highlight the positive legacy from the Annapolis Summit on the Middle East held in America last November.
I know that even as the peacemakers and the various players convened in Annapolis last November, many commentators were sceptical about the prospects for this and any kind of peacemaking initiative at this time. However, I do think it's worth reminding ourselves that the meeting represented a milestone and a new beginning in several key respects. In the first place, by convening the meeting and following it up with the first visit of a president, this particular US president, to Israel and the West Bank, the United States was signaling a new level of direct engagement on the issue that we had not seen for several years. In addition, this round of peacemaking started with the goal already defined. The US and the other key international and regional players present at Annapolis were agreed on the goal of a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian aspect of the Arab-Israeli conflict. That, too, was new and significant.
Dr. Hollis said the prospects for a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict by the end of the year remain in the balance.
At stake, literally, is the future of the whole region, and therefore the fates of all the key actors at the domestic, regional and international levels. At stake is the whole regional system, and the regional and thence global order, including the relative fortunes of both state and non-state actors, power brokers and regimes. No wonder it's so complex, and each of the players and actors stand to lose or gain, depending on how the drama plays out. And here's the rub. A comprehensive regional approach to conflict resolution would inevitably mean some concessions and accommodations and compromises on all fronts.
Dr. Hollis also highlighted the continuing dominance of the Iraq situation on the region.
In my consultations in the region, I realized that there is pretty much a consensus that could be built on that Iraq remain unified. So make that a minimum goal and then facilitate internal discussions in Iraq about what that means for power sharing or federation or whatever, if you take as a given that it's got to be unified, Iraq has got to be unified. Now, you may think I've drifted a very long way from the Israeli-Palestinian situation, but I hope I've managed to demonstrate that since all these things are interlocked and we've got ourselves into this kind of zero-sum thinking where there's a bunch of enemies and a bunch of potential allies and you've got to defeat one in order to liberate the other, is actually not taking us to victory for anybody. And that includes the consequences of the Iraq situation.
Dr. Hollis said all parties had to realise that continuing with current policies was not an option to ensure security in the region.